NCAA football win total series. We continue in the Sun Belt. We are on to Louisiana Tech. And this program hasn't been good in a little while. So we go back to when Sonny Dykes took over the program back in 2010. He went 5-7, then 8-5 the next year, made a bowl game. Then 9-3, got ranked as high as 19. He leaves. Skip Holtz comes over, 4-8 his first year, and then 7 straight bowl games for Skip Holtz. 2021 though, 3-9. 2022, 3-9. Last year they opened with a win against FIU, 5-point win, but then they lose at SMU. They beat Northwestern State, but then lose against North Texas and at Nebraska. They beat UTEP to get back to 3-3, and then just things fall apart. Western Kentucky at Middle Tennessee State, New Mexico State at Liberty, Sam Houston, and at Jacksonville State. The closest game of those, that crew was against Western Kentucky, where they lost by 7, and then New Mexico State they lost by 3, both at home. But they finished on a massive losing streak. Finished 3-9. Sonny Cumbie's back, but he's definitely on thin ice there at Louisiana Tech right now. We look at what they've got right now this year. Hank Bachmeier left, so they do have to replace their quarterback situation. Jack Turner was the backup last year. Big guy, can pass well, but way too many interceptions. If it's not him, it's going to be South Miss transfer Ty Keys in there. Turner has way more experience, but the interceptions are just a massive issue. Further, the receiving corps got hurt. Smoke Harris caught basically everything last year. He's gone. Cyrus Allen's gone. It's True Edwards, who was the third receiver, who had 23 catches. He's basically going to be the primary guy. They do bring in Bowling Green's Abdul Fatih Ibrahim. They still have DeColdis Crawford, but not much in the receiving corps there. At running back, the ground game should be better. They bring in Texas State transfer Denario Davenport. Marquise Crosby's coming back from an injury last year. He ran for 918 yards in 2022. He's going to be the quick back. Davenport's the ground and pound guy. Offensive line, they bring in Grambling State's Ashanti Cole. They still have Zarian McGill. It's okay. It does have to replace a lot of parts, though. The defense was dreadful last year. They were giving up 33 points a game, over 400 yards a game. The line was awful. They do bring Michael Clark back. They hope for a couple JUCO transfers to hold up there. The linebacking core is also getting transfer help. North Texas transfer Sifa Lota, and Jamarcus Jones comes in from UAB. Zach Zimos is probably going to lead from the inside spot. Not much of a pass rush last year. Couldn't stop the run, and then the secondary didn't make any big plays. They have transfers coming in for basically every spot. Blake Thompson comes in from Iowa State. It's going to be 5 new transfers back there. They've got to make more plays, though. They only had 5 interceptions last year. The defense just got torched over and over, and it doesn't matter if they can score if they can't stop anyone. They've got to keep the defense off the field, so they've got to run the ball. Last year, when they were over 105 yards, they were 3-3. On the when they did 105 on the ground. When they didn't, they were 0-6. Over the last 2 years, if they didn't get to 110 yards, they were 0-11. They have to figure out how to run the ball. We look at the schedule. Starts out nice. August 31st, they have Nicholls State. They should get a win. And then they have an insanely early bye, September 7th. Then they're at NC State. That's going to be a loss. September 21st against Tulsa is probably a toss-up, lean loss. At FIU, definitely a loss. And then October 5th is their second bye. So, right there in the first 6 weeks, they go through both their byes. October 10th, Middle Tennessee. 5 days later, October 15th, they're at New Mexico State. This is a team that if it was at home, they might get the win. On the road, it's going to be a lot tougher coming off a short week. UTEP's the next week at home. That should be a win. Then they're at Sam Houston, and then Jacksonville State at home. They have to go to Western Kentucky November 16th. Then they go to Arkansas before they finish out against Kennesaw State. They do miss Liberty, but some of the more winnable games are on the road for them, which is going to make it difficult this year. When I look at the schedule, they'll get Nicholls State. They should beat UTEP. They should beat Kennesaw State. I think they either get Tulsa or at New Mexico State, maybe at FIU, probably not, Overall, though, this should be a struggle of a year for them. They should make a jump up, though. They were a 3-win team the last 3 years. I think they get to 4 this year. I'm going to give them Nicholls State, New Mexico State, UTEP, and Kennesaw State. That gets them to 4, but the over-under is sitting at 4.5. I see this as a 3 to 4 win team. If they just over exceed, they'll hit 5. There is a 5 out there, though. DraftKings has the over-under set at a flat 5. We're going to go ahead and take the under 5 at minus 115, knowing that, hey, if they have an amazing year, we're probably just pushing, but most likely we're cashing that. So under 5, minus 115. If you like this content, make sure to leave a comment, share it, hit the like button. Check out our link tree for all of our socials, and we'll see you next time.